Good day. Welcome back to the podcast Catch It, a New Perception. My name is Ketuk. I hope your heart is good today. My hope is that your spirit is well. I hope you're physically healthy. I hope your loved ones are good. I think about a couple of things that we've recently talked about and things in the past and how we move forward with them. And I talk about certain actions that we can take. And I do have a suggestion today. I don't know, maybe some of you people do this, maybe some of you people don't. I don't know. Have you ever considered putting your thoughts down on paper to take care of your mind? Write it out. I don't doubt that some of you probably maybe overthink or your mind races at times, or how often do you put that on paper? Just write it out. Are you able to slow down? Maybe it's something you could do after listening to this episode. Write things down. Then, when you have a hard time and your mind is racing or you can't get off of something and you're focused on one thing and it's not healthy and you start to write things down, see if they're different. What you write down on paper after this episode and when your mind's racing and you're discontented. Does this episode or these episodes of this podcast make your mind race? Does it make things confusing? Does it make things difficult? Or are you more at ease? If you're more at ease, maybe this is an action you could take that could be helpful when your mind races, when things are difficult. I say that because I think about writing things down on paper could make things better for the moment and maybe long term. What if writing things down on paper was a mutually beneficial relationship for you with yourself when it comes to being in the moment and getting it down and getting it out, and also long term because you realize there's a solution to this. What we need is a solution. What we need is answers for ourselves in how we can live different, how we can think different, how we can feel different. What if the action of listening to this podcast is part of that? What if the action of writing things down on paper are part of that? What if you write things down on paper? What happens when you write things down on paper and you go back and read it and things kind of start to sort out? Looks better, right? What happens when you take the time to call up a mentor, maybe an elder, someone you respect, a friend, and ask them if they'd be willing to listen to something that you wrote and you share it with them? Maybe without them even responding, you get more out of it. Maybe they respond. Maybe that's helpful because of the mutual respect between the two of you. Maybe they know you well enough and know how to respond in a good, healthy way. There's many different avenues we can take to be able to take an action, to be able to think different. And the idea of putting these thoughts down on paper to take care of the mind, I think is important. The soul always knows what to do to heal itself. The challenge is to quiet the mind. Are you able to quiet the mind enough today? Is writing things down on paper, putting things down on paper, you're seeing what you write, Does that help quiet the mind? So the soul can heal? Your soul, your essence, your true intuition, not the mind, the intuition, the knowing that's inside of you. It's correct. It will heal you. Sometimes we need external things, external people to help guide us back inside, to help find the truth inside of us. Maybe that's with a therapist. You know, I've heard some of my friends that belong to 12-step programs talk about their relationship with like sponsors. It's maybe kind of like a spiritual advisor, I guess. I don't know individually necessarily the intimacy of a relationship like that. Maybe it's more like a therapist. Maybe it's like, I don't know what it means to all of these people. That type of thing is kind of what I'm talking about. If you have a therapist, maybe bouncing it off your therapist. A friend, whatever this is to you. In other words, someone you trust outside of yourself. And hopefully you trust yourself as much as you trust anyone in the world. I know not everyone can. Not everyone can just yet. Not everyone can today. And if not, maybe we work on being able to trust ourselves more than anyone else in the world by tomorrow. And many of you that listen to this podcast know that sometimes when I speak of today, I'm talking about in recent time, within the last year or two, within the last month or two, within the last week or two, within maybe today. And sometimes when I speak of tomorrow, I may be speaking of decades from now, at what time I maybe have an opportunity to retire in this lifetime and, you know, not be working a 40-hour-a-week job or whatever that may be for tomorrow. Or when I speak of yesterday, I may have been speaking when I was a teenager or when I began to change my life 30-some years ago or whatever those things are. Today, tomorrow, yesterday. Might be big, might be small. Whatever it needs to be for you to be able to get the essence of what we're talking about. I say that because I think that there's a lot within this. There's a lot we can learn. There's a lot of things we can see. Many things we can see different. And many things we will see the same. If the soul always knows how to heal itself, is it because of the work that we've done? Have we already done the essence of the work when we were coming up? And for some of us, it might have been dealing with trauma, dealing with things that were difficult. And so therefore we learned how a defense mechanism. And at the time, it may have been a defense mechanism to be able to heal at the moment and push away from and defend from. And then today, it doesn't serve us anymore. That is no longer a defense mechanism. Now it's more of a liability than an asset. That's what our soul will sort out for us, is how once something that was a defense mechanism that helped keep us safe, or it helped us keep us from trauma, it helped keep us from many different things we didn't need, today it no longer serves us. So take what's internal that no longer serves you and leave it behind. Pick up what's in front of you. Create something internal with that and walk with it. The healing will come. The healing is with you. The healing comes from that mystery, from the Creator. The healing comes from within. And sometimes that healing comes through other people. Sometimes we reach out to someone because we've put this down on paper to quiet our minds, and it begins to work, and now we need to have a conversation about what it was we wrote. And someone else will give us that nugget, that one thing, that golden nugget, that diamond in the rough. And now we shine it. Now it's cut to perfection. Now it's everything we need. And I'm speaking internal. I have gained since I began to change my life. And I've spent over half my life working on getting to know my higher self. And since I've begun this journey, I have been gifted some things along the way that have some sweet monetary value. I've owned a few properties and a few vehicles, and some of them are nice by certain standards, and to me they're very nice. And the monetary things that I have gained, all of the monetary things that I have gained since I began to change my life, are the least that I have gained. What I have gained that's important is what's internal. It's not external. It's the changing I've done. It's the volunteering I've done. It's the reaching outside of myself to help someone else that I've done. The soul always knows what to do to heal itself when the mind is quieted. It doesn't have to be a challenge today to quiet the mind. Originally, maybe it was. Today, it's not a challenge. Do you do meditation, yoga? Those quiet the mind. Do you sit in prayer? Some of you may call it quiet. Some of you may call it thought. You may call it many different things. Some people call it meditation. Some people maybe get up and stretch. Other people maybe say they do yoga. They could be doing the same form. I don't know. What I do know is that I can quiet the mind. I can heal the soul because of what it is I've learned from you. I have internalized it in a healthy way. I have not internalized what I do not need. You say something derogatory, I think you can keep it. I don't need it. I will take what I need and I will internalize what's healthy for me. What I need in my soul, what I need to carry in my heart, what I need to be able to offer to other people, what I can give away. I want to carry with me what it is I can give. I want to carry love. I want to carry compassion. I want to carry respect. I want to carry dignity. And then I want to show other people that they have it inside of them already. It doesn't come from me. It comes from within. So now I would like to see it shine through you. I'd like to see that shine come out of you. I'd like to see that shine, that light, that bright light in your eyes today and tomorrow. And possibly when we journey on together for an eternity. Looking forward to next time. Live in harmony with and use the bounty of the land to bring kindness to the world. Doksha, okay?